think?
Wonderful.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You like what you see?
Oh yes, Granbury's lucky to have it.
Yeah. Thanks.
Very nice, very special.
I just spoke with your wife. How you doing?
Good to see you.
What do you think of all this?
I think it's beautiful. It's the first time I've seen it in months, so you guys did a good job.
Yeah, it's all kind of really came together the last week or so.
It sure did. Glad to be here today.
And this is the first thing you want me to read. I went through the script. Hey, Brian.
They're going to call them out. So y'all choose ahead of time which station you want to stand by. So, like when they call the Stevens family and they start watching whoever's going to do Army, do this.
Now, I guess they'll make the announcement now. Okay.
You brought your friend with you here, I see.
Right. He's a fire dog today.
Oh, really?
You need a basis?
Here guys, hurry.
Yes. I don't know what this one is. Look at it. He wants to take
What a photo op, huh?
It's great, isn't it?
Yeah, so hopefully that'll all be on
Before we start, I have to tell you something. Thanks, Rose. Rose Meyer was one of the first ones, along with the Angels, that trusted me with this idea. Con Shook, who's been with me up here every day, watering, he texted me early this morning and said, you know, Miss Julia, I couldn't be there at 7 o'clock this morning to water the grass. So I guess God took care of it for me. So he did, didn't he? So thank you for allowing us to move things around. So with that, Mayor Pro Tem.
Good afternoon, Granbury. How's everyone doing today on this bright, rainy day? What a beautiful day in the beautiful city of Granbury. I'm certainly honored to live here. My name is Mickey Parson. I have the privilege of serving as the Mayor Pro Tem of the city of Granbury. Wanted to welcome a few folks. First of all, Diane Williams with U.S. Connolly's office. Is she here? I didn't see her yet. Senator Brian Birdwell's here. Our state representative Mike Lang. General Chris Adams, our featured speaker. Colonel McGraw from the Texas Director of the Department of Public Safety. Our State Fire Marshal over here, Chris Connealy. And to all those representing law enforcement, the military, and fire departments, a special welcome to you. And all the citizens of the city of Granbury and all of our other guests, thank you for coming. Thank you for joining the City of Granbury as we dedicate our new Memorial Lane project that has been created to expand our existing Jim Burks Firefighters Memorial Park. The two new sites, which will be military and law enforcement, that are dedicated today, remembers and honors all those who have served in the past, present, and the future. These sites also include a memorial and a place of honor for those who have paid the ultimate sacrifice. It's with a gracious heart and thankfulness that I would like to recognize and honor those who have participated in the helping and completion of this endeavor. First of all, to the mastermind and the lady with a big heart, Miss Julia Pennell. Thank you so much, Julia. She brought the idea to council and we fell in love with it, and here we are. To all the members of her committees and all the people who supported her in getting this job done. To all the donors, both financial and in kind, and those who showed up and worked, and those who spread the sand and laid the bricks and were all a part of that. The City of Granbury thanks you for your effort on our behalf. And all to the city employees and to the City of Granbury for your part of this, to the City Council, to the City Manager, and of course to Mr. Aaron McLean, our wonderful Parks Department Director. A wonderful man. And then of course our accounting department and all the other employees of the City of Granbury. We appreciate your appreciation in this project. You know, every day it seems there's a new article expounding upon the beauty of the City of Granbury. We're number 1 in terrorism, we're number 2 in tourism. People love our little city. They always talk about the main attributes such as the restored Opera House, our new town, our redone town square and all that it represents. And how about City Beach? How many of your friends that live in other places can say, well, we got City Beach, you know? So there's so many wonderful attributes of our city and things like that that we hear about. But I'm here to tell you that the reason I love Granbury, and I think the reason that a lot of you are here, is because of the heart of this city. Those who live here, we know the main attribute is its citizens and our heart. Taking care of our neighbors, providing for those in need, raising funds for the many, many nonprofit service agencies, and taking care of each around us. I think that this Memorial Lane project is a magnificent example of the heart of this community. It was an idea born from the heart to honor and memorialize those who serve in their sacrifice. It was a project realized from the heart of our citizens working together for the common good. A lasting memorial built from the heart of our citizens that will shine as a beacon to all who see it for the years to come. So I applaud the heart of Granbury, and I pray that each of you feels the heart beat in you. Thank you, Granbury. Thank you, the City of Granbury, for all that you've done, for the sweat, tears, hard work, and perseverance. As the Mayor Pro Tem, the City of Granbury gladly accepts this Memorial Lane, and we commit to perpetual care of this memorial and honoring Lane. As we move forward, I want to introduce the next 4 participants. We're going to have an opening prayer led by Chaplain Doug Pruitt. He's the Hood County Sheriff's Office and Texas State Chaplain. And then we have posting of the colors by the Hood County Sheriff's Department Color Guard, led by Officer Lucas Cavazos. And following that will be the Pledge of Allegiance, led by State Trooper Dub Gilliam. Dub's a wonderful man in our community. I remember in 1998 he was shot 10 times, survived, stayed, loves his community, and loves his job. And then our own Michael Alexander will lead us in our national anthem. So would you stand and join us in prayer? Thank you.
Lord Jesus, I thank you for this time together. I thank you for this ability to stand here today and honor those that have given the ultimate sacrifice for our freedoms and our safeties. Lord, you know our hearts. You know the desires we have. And I ask for your peace and your comfort as we memorialize these men and women that have given all. We honor those that are serving now. And we set the motions in motion for those that will serve this great country, this great state, and this great community. It's in Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Left, left, right. Left, left. Mark time, mark. Detail, hold. Right, face. Detail, hold.
My fellow Americans, please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, one and indivisible.
Please join me in singing our national anthem. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we've watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Straight. Forward. Mark. Left. 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 Right.
From the City of Granbury, an official proclamation. Whereas in 2016, a group of volunteers formed a committee to design, develop, and raise funds to expand the existing Jim Burks Firefighters Memorial Park to include 2 new sites, thereby creating a memorial lane that will forever remember and honor all those who serve as firefighter, law enforcement officer, or in the military. Within each site would be a place of honor for those fallen heroes who have given the ultimate sacrifice. And whereas the Memorial Lane Project Committee worked faithfully over the next year and a half to hold fundraising events, speak with local groups, seeks grants and foundation contributions, and communicated daily to those who wanted to be a part of the great project. And whereas the Memorial Lane Project Committee raised over $190,000, while local businesses and citizens also donated thousands of dollars in services to this great project, bringing the total invested in Memorial Lane to over $270,000. And whereas during the development of this project, it became known that when finished, Memorial Lane would be the only one of its kind in the United States to future sites, remembering and honoring those who have served, those who are serving, and those who paid the ultimate sacrifice, all located in one public park. Now therefore, I, Mickey Parson, Mayor Pro Tem of the City of Granbury, Texas, do hereby proclaim July 1, 2017 as Dedication Day for Memorial Lane in Granbury, and urge the community to attend the unveiling of the Memorial Lane. Furthermore, I invite the public to visit Memorial Lane, located along the city hike and bike trail, to remember and pay respects to our local and national heroes. Given under my hand and seal of the City of Granbury on the first day of July 2017, Mickey Parson, Mayor Pro Tem. I pray that each person who visits here today and forever will be blessed far beyond anything they might have ever imagined. It's now my privilege to introduce to you Mr. Chris Kaufman, the illustrious city manager of the City of Granbury. I think he's got the rest of the program lined up and is going to take care of that. Mr. Chris?
We do want to call out, our mayor is out of the country right now, and another council member is out of the region, so I wanted to give my condolences. They wanted to give their appreciation, my condolences to them for missing this great event. But we do have a letter from the mayor that he'd asked me to read. And it's they in Granbury. Jan and I are out of the country today, but our thoughts are with you as we all celebrate completion of the project. Today is special one as we all come together to celebrate the completion of this beautiful addition honoring our hometown heroes. Many hours of hard work and dedicated team made this possible, all worth it. As you can see today, we truly have one-of-a-kind, first-class memorial honoring those who have given their all. And he'd also like to give recognition to Miss Julia Pinnell for her project vision, and to the entire volunteer team and citizens and city employees who came together to create this one-of-a-kind memorial lane. This is a great example about what makes our town special and what makes our guests wish they lived here. Thank you, Nan and Jan Hewlett. So it's my honor and privilege today to introduce our guest speaker. He is a retired U.S. Air Force Major General and former Chief of Staff, Strategic Air Command, former Associate Director of Los Alamos National Laboratory, and industry executive. While he has traveled the world extensively, he has spent much time in Russia and the former Soviet states. His military honors include the Distinguished Service Medal, the Department of Defense Materials Service Medal, 2 Legions of Merit, 2 Air Medals from the service in combat, and has also been awarded the Daughters of American Revolution National Medal of Honor in 2011. Please help me welcome and give a big round of applause to General Chris Adams.
Well, it's always fun to come back to Granbury. We lived here for some 20 years. We kept leaving and coming back, and now we're back again today. And what a pleasure it is for this special event. And kudos to Julia and her team for really pulling some off really great. Julia is beautiful all the way around, and as Mickey said most of the words, how proud Granbury has to be of this great city. One just has to go out to the Acton Cemetery, the Granbury Cemetery, the Courthouse Square, and now come here just to see how really great and how patriotic this city really is. It's my pleasure to be a part of this program and to help you in honoring both our active, those to become active someday, but especially our fallen heroes, whether they wore an asbestos suit as a firefighter or a nice pressed uniform with a badge, a handgun, and a Stetson hat, or served one of our military services. We owe great tribute. They are all first responders in my venue. They're all here to respond and to protect and defend us no matter what day it is, where we are from this day forward. This memory lane, as Julia has coined it, I think is proper, and she asked me to talk about memories. And I learned a long time ago that our memories are derived from our personal experiences and become indelible as we go through life. When the Vietnam War began to heat up a few years ago, a lot fewer than most of us realize, I got recalled to the cockpit from a cushy job I was having at the time and put in the brand spanking new C-141 four-jet engine transport, relocated my family to Dover, Delaware, and began flying sorties from Dover across the United States and Alaska, included down to Saigon. Hauling troops, supplies, anything that needed to go to the war front, we hauled it down there. The return trips were not quite that delightful. We brought back a few casualties, some walking wounded, some troops that were coming home had served their time, broken parts and pieces back to Dover. That went on for a while, and then one day, which I didn't realize it was going to happen, my last sortie coming out of Saigon. I was in base operations filing a flight plan, and my loadmaster came in and I said, "What do we have today, Chief?" And he said, with a very straight, tearful face, "54 of them, sir." Well, I got aboard the airplane and I looked back at the cargo department. There were 54 aluminum caskets back there, stacked like cordwood. That'll freeze your mind. We took off and very little was said on that 14-hour trip back. We had a young captain chaplain on board that handed me the manifest along the way, and I ran my finger down those 54 names. All I could see was moms and dads and wives and kids somewhere back in the United States waiting for their fallen heroes to come home. It really took me away, and I got home. I went home, saw my wife. I said, "I can't do this anymore. This is not for me. If I'm going to do it, I have to be there doing it. I'm not a hero, but I just can't participate in this. I went to personnel the very next morning and told the colonel what I wanted to do. After he chewed my fanny out, he said, get back and do what you're supposed to do. Well, then the next morning, as my mother told me often, the good Lord takes care of fools and little children. She never told me which one I was. But I got a call from that colonel and said, you want to go to war? You can go, buddy. Have you ever flown a C-47 Goodyearbird? And I said, yes, sir. He said, good. You're going to Karat, Thailand. I said, fine. I moved my family back to Texas and took off over to Karat. I was put in charge of 5 1930 model C-47s. If you ever driven an old car, then you want to drive an old 30 model C-47. So we were having fun doing it. We were doing a lot of trash hauling. If I told you everything we did, I'd have to kill some of you because some of you done it yourself. But that was our mission. And lo and behold, after there a couple of months, once again, getting ready to take a flight out to Karat, over to Da Nang, Pleiku, Bien Hoa, down to Saigon. Transportation squadron commander comes in and he said, hey Chris, can I take this flight today? I said, yes sir, I get one every day. And he said, I need to get out of the office, I'm bored to death, I need to go. So I introduced him to Lieutenant Mahan, co-pilot. They took off. Well, the day went on, and late that afternoon, about dusk, I get a call from the command post to come down. They had an emergency to talk to me about. So I went to the command post and he said, sir, we haven't heard from your airplane. No communications down in South Vietnam. About this time, NCO controller comes out and he said, sir, the bird's down. 27 souls on board and no survivors. Well, I could have dropped to my knees right then, and I stood there thinking, my goodness sakes, how can this happen? I could have been in that seat myself, but the good Lord put Colonel Savage there instead. Went back to my hooch and began writing letters to those I knew that was on board and what have you. And those are when the memories stick to you. You'll never forget them. Memories come in happy, sad, glad categories, but many sad seem to be more indelible. One more war story to tell you, and all of us have been out there and done that. I see a bunch of familiar faces out there, and you can tell more war stories than I can, but right after I got to Karat, I met a young lieutenant one evening at the club by the name of Carl Richter. You can remember this name, you can Google him up. I met young Carl and we were chit-chatting a little bit, and I found out after a while this was his second tour. He'd already flown 100 sorties over North Vietnam, had knocked down a couple of MiGs, had come home, and boredom took over and he said, I got to go back. And so they reassigned him. He came back to Karat to fly the F-105 fighter bomber. And just really an exciting young fella. Well, months go on, and I'm flying back one day about 5-6 months later. It happened to be, believe it or not, July 1967, 50 years ago this next week. I'm flying back, and the tower calls and says, do you have enough fuel to land and continue on to Bangkok? And I said, I think so. So we landed, and I said, what's the issue? Well, we have a casualty. So you got it. What is one of our fighter pilots? I said, can you reveal a name? He said, Lieutenant Richter. Well, Dick Osborne sitting over in my co-pilot's seat. We were so shook up we could hardly make it. We landed, ambulance pulls up and slides a litter out with a big rubber body bag in it, puts it unceremoniously on the floor of my airplane, and we flew them to Bangkok. Those are things that we never ever forget, and that's why we cherish so much our veterans and veterans to come, for that matter, that are serving today. Carl Richter, in the end story, had flown, that was his 198th mission over Vietnam, the most ever flown by a fighter pilot ever, and I was so proud and honored to have known this young fella. July the 7th, 1967. He's now honored down at Maxwell Air Force Base with a 9-foot tall bronze likeness of him. As I said, he's well covered. If you Google up a little bit, you'll find Carl there. And what a great young man, and what a loss to his family and to this great nation. So memories are really what it's all about, and that's what Julia and her team have done so beautifully here, is to remind us that while we're here, we're enjoying beautiful Granbury, one of the neatest little communities in the state of Texas and the USA for that matter, as Mickey has so wonderfully stated. But then there's a serious world out there that we don't want to forget. Just pay homage every day, say a prayer every day, not only for the veterans and those who are fallen, but the veterans to come. I worry more about them than I do anything else. I have a young granddaughter who's a major in the United States Air Force, major to be. She has a line number to be promoted. And we pray every day for these young kids about what they're doing. I might add real quick, you know, there's always a funny story besides sad memories. There are funny memories. The night that I picked up Jane Mansfield and her USO troop, and I flew them across Southeast Asia and landed in Bangkok. She stuck her head in the cockpit, and I had co-pilot get out, put Jane in the right seat, put a headset on that big bubble of hair, and called up a couple of GCIs, ground controlled intercept sites along the way, and had her talk to them. And kids on the ground were absolutely in awe. They could not believe. They said, "Sir, you really got hot cargo on there?" And I said, "Yes, we sure do." Well, another sad story. That poor gal came home and got herself killed 10 days after that, and it just broke our hearts. But Brenda Lee, Lionel Hampton, and others, Barbara Walters, and a few others that we got to carry around while we were over there. So it was a sad mission, but also it had its delightful times. As we honor those here today, and I recognize a gang of beautiful faces out there that have all done your duty and done it well. Firefighters, law enforcement, Brazos River Authority, Rangers. By the way, the BRA gave me a water pass to come up here today, and I apologize for overusing it, Julie. I was supposed to hold it off till late today, but it happened. But I want to tell you, your lake looks beautiful. So let me just say, God bless all of our men, our women in uniform, no matter where they may be, and those yet to come. And God bless America. Thank you very much.
Well, at this point, we'll move the ceremony to the presentation of the dedicated event, and would like to introduce Senator Brian Birdwell, retired Lieutenant Colonel from the U.S. Army, as a hero to us all, in that he survived the 9/11 attack and in the Pentagon building. So at this time, I'll turn it over to the Senator. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it, Chris. General, I couldn't have been said better. Thank you for joining us today. I do have one item that is not on the agenda because it is supposed to be a surprise. So let me do this if I may. I do have a letter from Senator Cruz that I'll read in just a moment, but Senator Cruz also sent us a flag flown over the United States Capitol, and it is for our project manager, Aaron McLean. Aaron, would you come forward, please? The gentleman who's worked tirelessly and very patiently with Julia, the City Council, and all the folks that made this possible. I wanted to present you this flag flown over the United States Capitol at the request of Senator Cruz for all that you've done to make this project come to fruition today. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. You are welcome. Here's the certificate. Thank you, sir. Thank you. It is also my treat on behalf of Senator Cruz to read his greeting, if I may. This is to the citizens of Granbury and Hood County. Today we honor the brave fallen fathers, mothers, brothers, sisters, sons, and daughters that courageously gave their lives to protect and make possible the freedom and safety we know today. Each of them solidified our future by surrendering their own. While we will never be able to thank them for their sacrifices, the dedication of Granbury Memorial Lane ensures that they and those who continue to serve will remain eternally close to our hearts. As we reflect on their incredible sacrifices, may we also remember that our liberty comes at a price. Because of their efforts, current and future generations can enjoy the freedoms upon which our great nation was founded, knowing that America's best stands ready to serve when we are in need. This memorial will serve as a permanent reminder of our gratitude for those who nobly pledged their lives in the defense of the Constitution and the American way of life, who gave their present to secure our future. We also pause to recognize the remarkable men and women who continue this tradition of service above self, those who currently serve in our military and as first responders. We thank them and their families for ensuring the flame of liberty continues to shine around the world, for being a trusted network of security and safety here at home. They live each day to make sure we all know a better tomorrow. For their faithfulness, we are eternally grateful. In honoring our fallen servicemen and women and first responders, we pray for the comfort of their families who grieve their loss, and may our nation always honor their sacrifice and keep our promise to the fallen to serve and protect their loved ones. May God bless you all, and may God continue to bless the United States of America. Sincerely, Ted Cruz, United States Senator. At this time, we'll begin the raising of the flags, and we'll invite all the attendees that I call on to join us as we dedicate our beautiful military site, as we honor all the members of the previous branches, or our branches of service, past, present, and future. I would ask each of those that I call up to stand at their respective service flag, that once all of the representatives from each of the services are forward at the flag, then we'll raise all the flags simultaneously. Accompanied by their son Ken, the Army plaque reads, "Never forgotten, Sergeant First Class Riley G. Stevens, killed in action, 2012. Recognizing the Navy, or representing the Navy, Mr. J.C. Campbell is accompanied by his family, who sponsored this station in honor of their mentor, their father and friend. A member of the family will honor their father by raising the flag, and the plaque reads, "In honor of J.C. Campbell, USS Frankie Evans, DD 754, that's destroyers, right, J.C.? Hooah! Lest we forget." The next three services each chose the same motto, in honor of all who serve. Representing the United States Marine Corps, Diane Lewis, the manager of Kroger here in Granbury, who sponsored this station, is accompanied by Granbury resident retired Marine Corporal Kenneth Meyer, who who earned 3 Purple Hearts, and his son. Joining them to raise the flag is also Con Shuck, a retired Marine and committee member. Representing the Coast Guard, Danny Hill, owner of Classic Chevrolet here in Granbury, is honored to sponsor this station. While recovering from surgery, Mr. Hill is most pleased to have Jeremy Starnes, himself a veteran and an employee, represent his company. Jeremy is accompanied by retired Seaman Alan Greer, who will raise the Coast Guard flag in honor of all Coast Guard members and families. In general, we save the best for last. United States Air Force, Mr. Bart Rogers, President of the Granbury branch of First Financial and sponsor of the Coast Guard station, will be accompanied by retired Colonel Phil Newsom, who will raise the flag. Ladies and gentlemen, would you simultaneously please raise your flags? They look great. Julia, my personal thanks for affording us the opportunity for Mel and I to join you today. It's been a real treat. Thank you very much. God bless you. God bless the city of Granbury and Hood County. Hooah. Thank you all.
The former executive
Executive Director, Colonel of the Texas Department of Public Safety since August 2009. He began his law enforcement career with DPS in 1977 as trooper in the State Highway Patrol and later as DP narcotics agent and then special agent with the FBI. In 2004, he retired from the FBI to become the Homeland Security Director in the Office of the Governor until he took his current position. Please help me recognize and welcome Stephen C. McCraw. We have a correction.
Director of DPS, Colonel McCraw, was not able to make it today, so I'm going to fill in for the Colonel. We'll now participate in the official opening and dedication of the law enforcement site of Memorial Lane. We're honored to have Sheriff Roger Deeds, Hood County Sheriff. If you can come up to the flag right now, please. We're also honored to have Deputy Chief Cliff Andrews. If you can come up to the flag, please. While these men are making their way up to the flag to raise it, if all law enforcement personnel can stand while the flags are being raised. Gentlemen, you can raise the flags. Thank you. Well, I'm Mike Lang. I'm the state representative for this county as well as 7 others. But I'm honored to be here. What a great community it is to put something like this as Memorial Lane together. I was asked to read some excerpts of a resolution from the state of Texas, the Texas House. Whereas members of the Granbury community are gathered at Jim Burks Firefighter Memorial Park on July 1st, 2017 for the dedication of the Granbury Memorial Lane, and whereas Americans owe a profound debt of gratitude to the brave individuals who risk their lives every day to protect their fellow citizens, and Jim Burks Firefighters Memorial Park pays fitting tribute to the courage and sacrifice of our firefighters, law enforcement officers, military personnel. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the dedication of the Granbury Memorial Lane at Jim Burks Firefighters Memorial Park be commemorated, and that all those involved in bringing the project to fruition be extended sincere appreciation. I also have a flag here that was flown over the Texas Capitol to present to the Memorial Lane Committee. Julia Pinnell, can you come up here and accept this, please? This flag was flown over the Capitol on Independence Day, March 2nd. Thank you. Once again, I'm honored to be here. Thank you very much, and God bless Texas.
Well, our state representative is making it back to his seat. Let me go ahead and give you his formal introduction that I had for him at a later point in the program, but kind of threw me for a loop. I would like to tell you that he served the community for 30 years in law enforcement, during which time he earned the Congressman's Medal of Valor and Purple Heart National Law Enforcement Citation. Representative, thank you for coming and being with us on this great day for us in our community. And thank you for being a resident, and thank you to his beautiful bride, our county clerk. Thank you. At this time, we would like to invite Ms. Diane Williams to come and visit with us a second on behalf of Congressman Conaway.
Hello everyone. I had just a little short thing to share with you before I started. I was lucky to come from a family that my father's brothers, 4 of the 5 were military, and 3 of them were old enough to sign up after we were attacked at Pearl Harbor. And then my dad followed in 1950. But he took the time to write out where each of those guys served, what they flew, where their missions were, which I had no idea until I found some papers recently after a loss in my family. And it was the neatest thing to read that I knew one of my uncles flew P-38s, but the other 2 flew B-17s and B-24s respectively, the bombers, and they were all over the world, all over the map. So I just thought that was kind of neat. I wanted to share with y'all. So I'm from Congressman Mike Conaway's office, and the congressman read into the record some congressional comments commemorating the opening of the Memorial Lane here today, and I'm going to truncate this just a little bit. Mr. Speaker, I rise today to celebrate the opening of the new and expanded Memorial Lane in Granbury, Texas on July 1, 2017. Located along the Granbury Hike and Bike Trail, Memorial Lane pays homage to those who were lost in the line of duty and honors all those serving or who have served as a firefighter, police officer, or armed service member. Tributes such as these allow us to reflect on the remarkable lives of our fallen heroes and their families. We must continue to honor them every day and use these individuals as shining examples for generations to come. I look forward to seeing this memorial the next time I am in Granbury. May God bless our first responders and armed service members serving today and in days past. May He comfort those who endure the pain of loss, and may He never cease to shed His grace on Texas and this great nation. Thank you very much.
At this time, we're going to move into another phase, and we would like to welcome Charles and Dominique Inge to come forward, if you would, and lead our community in the recognition of the memorial that are in each area. And so Charles and Dominique have been recognized leaders in our community and were some of the first people who believed in this project. And I believe Charles may have a poem he wants to share with us. Come on up, Charles. Thank you.
I wanted also to say a little bit about some of the folks in my family who have been involved in military activity over the years. First, the December day that the Japs attacked Pearl Harbor, I was 13 years old. My older brother, Henry Peyton Inge, was away at Dartmouth University in his junior year, and we were eagerly awaiting his return. The other family members, my older sister and a younger sister and a younger brother. Before the end of 1942, my brother had left Dartmouth to go to war. As he put it, it was a little dramatic sometimes. But as it turned out, it wasn't so dramatic. My father protested, as fathers might, because he seemed so young. Sonny went to, did extensive training in Texas, Oklahoma, and California to earn his wings as a P-38 pilot. And he had been deployed to the European theater, mostly over southern France and Italy, doing strafing work, I guess you would say, against the trains and so forth, the supply trains of some of the German troops. He was killed in an accident, an airplane accident, on August the 21st, 1944. On his 22nd birthday. My dad was not a man given to a lot of expression of a lot of emotion, but when he got that telegram, he completely fell to pieces, which just, of course, added to the distress of the family because we'd never seen my father lose control like that. The last alive is left to parse the letters of those who long had intended writing, of those who but for illness would have written sooner, or of those just lonely and missing home. How school, camp, or work were coming, how the healths of sibs, parents, aunts, and uncles fared, and the weather always, whether hot or cold. Many thanks for this, that, and the other, for news of home, or simply for the letter. Clothes, time, and money, always in short supply, problems somehow resolved in those long chains of letters. Then we went to war, and the letters became quite serious, longing, cherishing, encouraging, praying, until some were returned, deceased, undelivered. She must have known his birthday night, there in his room alone. My darling son, I feel so close to you tonight. Your books, your clothes, the pictures of you in uniform, I must believe you all are all right. The squadron adjutant's letter later explained what happened. After 8 days flying missions day and night, we were returning to home base. 2 planes collided. Henry bailed out too low for his chute to open. So all of our families have either direct or indirect involvement in the conflicts this country has been involved in over the years, and we have a lot of loss and a lot of pride in those folks, and I think both those senses are appropriate. Not to leave you in two, but I don't want to leave you with such a sad thing. I've got a gorgeous wife I've had for 35 years. I've lived twice as long, almost twice as long as both of my brothers combined. And I have had a very full and happy life. I've got 4 children. How many grandchildren have I got? 10 grandchildren, 5 great-grandchildren. And my sisters, of course, had family that have survived. So we lead a happy life. We love it here in Granbury. We've been here off and on since 1990, and it's really an unusual little community, and we're proud to be a part of it. Thank you.
Might as well stay up here, and Dominique, could you join him? And we're going to ask Charles, Dominique, and Gail Joyce, and Derek to lay a wreath at the military cross and the military dog. And also at this time, I believe we have with us today military dog Officer Bush, brought with him MA1 Thomas Ethan Marsh, who is leading the K-9 Petty Officer at Naval Air Station Joint Reserve Base in Fort Worth. Are they here? Change of schedule caused him to have to stay away. So at this time, we would like to recognize these folks as our host and our supporters of these 2 brilliant pieces of bronze sculpture to our collection over here. If y'all would take this wreath and go over and lay it. And before we do that, shall we do them simultaneously? Is that what you wanted to do? Yes. Charles and Dominique Inge obviously have the Inge Foundation, and Gail Joyce represents the Gold and Blue Star Mothers and MOAA, and Derek is the CEO of our Lake Medical Center, Lake Granbury Medical Center. So they are the gracious hosts of all these features over here, and we want to thank y'all for that. And while they're doing that, we would like to ask our State Fire Marshal, Mr. Keneally, to come and join with him any of the fire chiefs and attending fire officers to lay a wreath over in this area. Oh, in the firefighters area, I'm sorry. And also at this time, I would ask for Katie McLean and Anna Miller to place a wreath by the commemorative stone memorials for their husbands, Deputy Larry Miller and Sergeant Lance McLean. This area is dedicated to all our fallen law enforcement heroes. Are you ladies here? Thank you. Brent, are you here? We'd like for you to assist the fire marshal. At this time also we'll have Jimmy Hesse play the bagpipes, Amazing Grace. At this time, I would like to introduce Miss Julia Pinnell. I would just like to add to my program. You know, she wrote my script, but I'm going off script here. You folks, some of you may know it, but many of you may not know or realize, not only did she put this memorial together and raise the money for it, the firefighter memorial behind us is part of this park as well, and the keystone to it. And she was instrumental in putting that together. If you add up all the money that she's raised for this park, it's over $600,000. So thank you, Julia.
And I have on my honorary firefighter pin, which I'm very, very proud of. You know, first of all, I tell people I'm good at what I do, but I'm not as good as when I get up every morning and say, okay, God, I'm going to do everything I can. Then I'm going to get out of your way and let you do all the many things I can't do. So you notice there's a young lady, a beautiful young lady standing over there. That's Cassidy Pinnell, our granddaughter. She was the model for the young girl statue, Fallen Tears, which is still at the Foundry. We can't help that. She's still at the Foundry. But if you look at her, that's what that beautiful statue will look like. And she looks out over all the fallen heroes, firefighters, law enforcement, and military. And so she will be arriving, and when she arrives, guess what? We'll have another party. So that's a good thing. So I have the opportunity to thank the following people, and you know, it is about people. Look around you, but everybody on the committee for the for the Memorial Lane, would you stand up wherever you are? All the committee members, stand up. Stand up. Stand up. They're all over. They're all over. It has been my pleasure to be able to say that every single committee member, some did some did a lot, some did a whole lot. But I have never ever worked on a committee where every single member participated, and that's special. I need to put out a special thanks to Mel, because every time I needed to know something, or Mel, am I doing this right, or would you get so-and-so for me, there she was for me, and Mel, thank you for that. I would like to ask these people to come forward. Is there anybody here? Did Keith make it for Improtech, Hips, and Todd? Keith, come forward. That's right, there you are with your hat on. Doug Pruitt, Mike Scoville. Mike, I won't ask you to talk, I promise. Aaron McLean. Mike Ross is hidden somewhere. Mike, come on up. Mike came in later, but these were the original design team. Mike, are you hiding back there? He's hiding, isn't he? Okay. No, Mike Scoville, are you hiding back here? I know he's hiding. He's the artist that did the beautiful Brindle. They didn't tell you the lab over there is named Brindle after the engine's beautiful lab, Brindle. So if you'll look, her service tag says Brindle. So these were the design team, and we spent hours designing. But Improtect started with scribbles on a piece of paper I took to them. They made it into a beautiful design. Then we went forward, and then we brought on Terry Cohn. Terry, would you come join us? Terry took the flat part and then made it into a 3D as an architect. But the main thing is, they put up with me. Do you realize it's all men? And they put up with this little redhead going, but what if, can I ask this question? I know I'm asking a silly question. I know I'm a detail person, and I know this is gonna sound silly. And Aaron, City of Granbury, you need to applaud Aaron McLean. Applaud him. Applaud him. Our parks are so beautiful. And when we put up the fence, his crew, we were standing there, and I said, Aaron, if I asked something else of you, would you tell me to go jump in the lake? And he said, never. I said, sure would look nice if we had a plank across the bottom. Guess what? An hour later, they were trimmed and across the bottom. This is the kind of team, and I told him he could never leave Granbury if I was doing a project. So would you help me thank this team and the committee? And Mike here is, he's a Vietnam, I say survivor, because we did not treat them well when they came home. And so when I asked him if he would join us, with tears in his eyes, he said, of course I will. And he has gone through physical pain. He's going to have surgery soon. But he finished The Lovely Girl with such diligence and such painstaking, literally. So Mike, we thank you. Thank you guys for putting up with me, and thank you for, look what we have. Isn't it awesome? Thank you. I had the job of, and I'll finish this shortly. I've done really well. I've made it really well, haven't I? Say yes. Yes. I have cried every night for 2 weeks. If you only know what it is to come up here and sit. Come up and sit in the evening. It is so peaceful. It is so restful. I saw a young man coming this way the first night, and someone had set something up there by the dog, and he went running up there thinking it was trash and said, how dare somebody leave trash up here by my dog? And I thought, wow, you know, that's wonderful. So I'm going to, underneath this green, by this next week's Stone Creation, is a donor walk. So there was many people that didn't get on the bronze because we didn't have it in time, but there's a donor walk. So there's lots of names here that you can come and see. But the ones who started the Inge Foundation, Dominique and Charles Inge, let me sit in front of them with real scribbles, not even a brochure. And thank you for trusting in me and my patuki and my glistening, and believing in me when it was just a dream. Thank you for that. Lake Granbury Medical Center, Derek, thank you so much for sponsoring the Military Cross and the hospital being involved just with not hesitation. We appreciate that. Big John, where's Big John? Stand up, Big John. I call him Big John. Stand up, Big John. Where's Dan? Stand up, Dan. These two gentlemen, see the beautiful, they call them fabrications, but they are pieces of art. All the green pieces, they were fabricated by Dan at A&A, and John and his team sandblasted them, painted them. But then John turned around and hours up here, measuring every plaque underneath, designing those plaques, a lot more than they anticipated. About 20 hours putting the stones in, right, Dan? Much more than they were asked of. They did. So I thank you guys. GCH Cement, where are you? We talked to them and said, we have a small project and we're going to need a lot of cement though. Sure, just let us know what you need. The city of Granbury, hey guys, thank you for believing in a little lady's dream. Lake Granbury Area Beautification Council, all the beautiful landscaping and some of the extra lights. Scott Tucker Construction, are you here? Yes, some of them are here. I saw them earlier. They came and they gave us a bid, and I went back to them and said, ouch. Can you help us? So they came back with a bid $14,000 cheaper. So we thank you very much. Senator Bryan and Mel Birdwell, always there for us. Walmart gave us a grant. I went over there and sat in his office and he said, you fill it out. How much? As much as you can get. So that's what we did. Then he donated to our auction. Then he gave us, and I called and said, hey, I would like some plants to put in the trees. Can you bring us 20? And he said, sure. And I said, well, we'll come get him. He said, no, I'll bring them. So if we're in a community, can you call up, do that, and the manager of the place delivers the plants to you. You know, only here, only here. G&G Electric, all the electricity. Kroger Marketplace from the very beginning, they sponsored both of our events, plus one of the sites. Hood County News, is Jerry here? Did Jerry get to come? Where's Jerry? Thank you, Jerry. They ran ads, they ran the forums. Debbie, thank you for all your beautiful stories. They were awesome. Henson Lumber Metal Company, where are you, Henson? Todd, right there. Thank you, Todd. See what I mean? Doesn't this fence make a difference, folks? It's like having that special frame on your picture. You paint a beautiful painting, then you put that perfect frame around it and you go, wow. That's what the fence did. Thank you very much. 92.1 Hank FM helped us. And also the beautiful stones over here. Years ago, the money was raised by the McLean and the Miller family for those stones. And we thank y'all for that, family. We thank you for that. The Memorial Lane Committee raised the funds to pay for the girl statue. So you can see there's a lot of people, but there's a lot of people under here. Vintage Flooring, Justice Plumbing, Tritex, I can't begin to tell you all of them, Express, Chicken Express. So in about a week's time, come and see our donor lane here and appreciate that. I'm going to close. You know, I never close without an appeal. People ask me, can we still get bricks and pavers? Forever. Forever you can get bricks and pavers. And I will guarantee you every penny that comes in for the Memorial Lane will be used here at the Memorial Lane. We have some money that we're going to use, and a surprise is coming that we will announce. So every penny will be used here. Farms are at a table back here. You can pick them up, fill them out, turn in your check or your money with Kathy back there, are taken with you. Pictures, Shad Ramsey, where's Shad? Thank you, Shad, for coming. He's a professional. So if you want pictures, you can go to granburymemoriallane.com by Sunday, and we will have a link on it where you can click to that link and take any pictures and download it and get pictures. So be sure and do that, granburymemoriallane.com, and choose your pictures. So I'm going to end with thanking my husband, because man, I tell you, he put up with a lot. And so with this, on behalf of the Memorial Lane Committee, the Design Committee, and the citizens of Granbury, we offer you our gift, the Memorial Lane. Thank you.
As a closing statement of appreciation, please give Julia a round of appreciation.
Thank you so much. You are such a blessing to our community.
Now, while you're standing, we're going to ask the color guard to retire the colors, and Pastor John Knox to have our closing prayer. Is Pastor Knox still here? Yes. We'll stand as we retire the colors.
Left, right. Mark time, march. Detail, hold. Left, face. Right, face. Forward, march. Left, 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 right. Left, 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 right. Left, 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 right.
I will lead us in a benediction prayer, but before we have one last surprise for you, I'm going to ask Robin Greer, who serves as our Veteran Services Coordinator, not only for Hood County, but also several surrounding counties as well. She's going to join us.
Sometimes it's better to ask for forgiveness after the fact. Julia Pinnell's not somebody you just throw a tweak into her program. As I said, I am the Veteran Services Coordinator for Pecan Valley Centers. I work with veterans who are struggling with mental health issues. But not only do I work with veterans, I am a veteran. And I want to talk to you for just about 5 minutes, if you'll bear with me, about flags, because that's what today has been about. I'll start on this side. My mother served under the Army flag. My son-in-law serves under the Army flag. My father and I served under the Navy flag. I had a brother who served in Vietnam that I lost under the Marine Corps flag. My amazing husband and best friend served in the Coast Guard. My oldest son served under the Air Force flag, and my oldest daughter currently serves under the Air Force flag. Across the way, we have the Firefighter Memorial. I'm the very, very proud sister of a brother who served 32 years with one of Hood County's volunteer fire departments. And then to this side, my husband, who served in the Coast Guard, is currently in law enforcement. So, Miss Julia, I think I've earned the right to interrupt your ceremony. Thank you. I have something I'd like to read. See if this will sit here. That would be wonderful. Thank you. Under the United States Flag Code, the tradition of retiring a flag, the flag, when it's in such a condition that it is no longer a fitting emblem for display, should be destroyed in a dignified way. Preferably, this is by burning. Out of respect for our flags and all they stand for, there's a woman that I work with by the name of Melissa Bird in McKinney, Texas. She's the mother of a Marine who took his own life. And in her way to honor him, she does something very, very special with these flags. She wanted to find a way that these flags, which could no longer be flown, could still be useful in a new and dignified way. So she collects flags that have been retired. She cleans them, she photographs them, she mends them, she gently folds them, tags them, and the tag has the date. It's assigned a number. The date is the date it was folded, and it includes the location of the recovery. There's also a brief poem that is written on the tag. These flags are collected from local fire stations, police departments, VFWs, American Legions, as well as other businesses and individuals. These flags are never ever sold, and they're never ever cut up, but they are saved from the fire. Just like these retired flags, we all have scars and imperfections, some mental, some physical, but if you are breathing, you still have purpose. I can think of no one that represents the true meaning of what this retired flag stands for than Miss Julia Pinnell. That little red-headed firecracker over there found a purpose after retirement. She was inspired by a dream, and she made it a reality. For without her imagination, desire, dedication, and tenacity, this beautiful park, which includes the Firefighter Memorial, the playground that nobody has mentioned today, and now Memorial Lane, would simply not exist. It came totally from her desire to still have purpose in life. For this one-of-a-kind area of reflection, we owe her a debt of gratitude that we'll never be able to repay. Miss Julia, come here. You inspire me. You make me want to be more than a disabled veteran. You make me want to be more than just somebody who serves veterans. You inspire me to give everything I've got. Serving on this committee with you has been one of the most amazing and honoring things of my life. Please accept this flag as our gift to you. It's never to be unfolded, and it can only be passed on when you find someone who needs a reminder that they still have a purpose.
Joyce and Katie and Anna and all your family, we want you to know that we love you and deeply respect you. Thank you. Let's pray. Father, what a privilege it is to live in Granbury. How could we possibly live in a better community with such wonderful servants? We're thankful for those who have sacrificed their very lives for us. And what an honor it's been to be in the presence of long-term veterans. We are privileged. Bless us in future endeavors as we strive to serve our community well. In Jesus' name, amen.
Feel free to enjoy your Memorial Lane.